MEK supporters rally against Iran regime's terrorism. Supporters of the Iranian opposition group People's Mojahedin held demonstrations and gatherings in Canada, Norway, Austria, Sweden, and the Netherlands, protesting the Iranian regime's support for terrorism and unbridled crackdown inside Iran. In Ottawa, Iranians voiced their compatriots' desire to overthrow the religious fascism ruling Iran. They called on the Canadian government to designate the regime's Revolutionary Guards and Ministry of Intelligence as terrorist organizations. In Oslo, MEK supporters called on the Norwegian government to sanction the regime and blacklist the IRGC and MOIS. In Stockholm, MEK supporters expressed their support for NCRI President Maryam Rajavi. They emphasized their determination to continue this struggle to bring about democratic regime change in Iran. Acting Pentagon chief says Iran is still a threat to US forces. Iran's regime and its terrorist proxies remain an active threat to American forces in the Middle East, acting US Defense Secretary Patrick Shanahan said Wednesday. Mr. Shanahan said, "I don't see a change in any behavior. I think the situation still remains tense. It's a high threat environment. The Iranian threat to our forces in the region remains." Friday prayers Imam in southern Iran stabbed to death. The regime's Friday prayers Imam of the city of Kazarun has been stabbed to death, the police announced on Wednesday. A police spokesman said Mohammad Khorsand was stabbed an hour ago in front of his residence. He was taken to the city's hospital but died of deep injuries. Iran's oil exports in May down to a fraction of last year. Various industry sources and news agency reports say that Iran's oil exports in May have mostly stopped. Reuters news agency says Iranian crude exports have fallen sharply in May to around 400,000 barrels per day, according to tanker data. The US administration has vowed to cut Iran's oil exports down to zero, and all indications are that this is practically working. Yemen's Houthis use radio platform to solicit donations for Hezbollah. A Yemeni radio station supporting the Iranian-backed Houthi militias has launched a fundraising drive for Lebanon's Hezbollah, using the platform to solicit donations from listeners. The radio station, SAM FM 99.1, said the donations from supporters are being accepted through the radio station's official account in all Yemeni post offices. Iran-backed Hezbollah is facing financial challenges after the US introduced new restrictions on trade with Iran's regime last year. US State Department says Iran is pulling Hezbollah from Syria. The US State Department said Wednesday that Iran is withdrawing Hezbollah forces from Syria because of Washington's pressure campaign against Tehran, including sanctions and military deployments. Spokeswoman Morgan Ortagus said, "We will continue to put maximum pressure on the Iranian regime to deny it the means to conduct its destructive foreign policy." Ortagus cited reports that American sanctions on Iran's regime have curbed Tehran's ability to fully fund proxy groups across the Middle East, including Hezbollah.